Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. In the first few months, we witnessed some leaders who are talking to us as if they owned the world. I remember, for example, after the BBC released a report on how Gen Zs were killed, a certain member of parliament, who I believe is a father, stood on the floor of parliament and told us that people are killed every other day, and so let us forget about the Gen Zs who are killed. And we've been wondering because we've seen certain characters within this government that speak as if they own the whole world. But of late, I have realized that we have certain sober leaders, either from within or from without, who stand up and call out illegalities the way they should be. Yesterday, a member of parliament, that member is from Funyula constituency, Oundo, stood up on the floor of parliament and lectured the whole house when they dedicated their precious time to talk about one man whom they had impeached, a man who was not there to defend himself. And Oundo told them, we can do better than this. We can't waste our precious moment. And we still salute him. Many Kenyans responded and they're saying, we need such sobriety in the house. Now, just a day after the MP called out that arm of the government, today there was a prayer breakfast meeting, something that all of us must have witnessed. Now, something that is still being talked about is this pastor who many Gen Zs are saying that he was God sent, because many people thought that he would be there to massage this regime, because we've seen the clergy, a certain crop of clergy that has got appetite for money. They are given money and they join the president worship team, and they praise the president. But this pastor, this I don't know, there's a bishop who came and smoked out William Ruto from his hideout. And we loved it because we have seen leaders sit in churches in these prayer meetings, and they sit as though they are holier than thou, and their speeches are choreographed in such a way that you may think that they are remorseful. But this pastor here told off William Ruto, and he actually forced William Ruto to apologize to Kenyans. By the way, the last time I checked, an apology should come from one's heart. It should not be coerced. All the same, Gen Zs and Kenyans are celebrating this pastor, and William Ruto apologized. But ladies and gentlemen, Gen Zs have got a very disturbing message to William Ruto. We will forgive, but we will not forget the way you abducted us, the way your police maimed us, the way your police killed us. And William Ruto must be a very disturbed man.
And I'm talking because I have Gen Zs. They're dying to be loved. They're dying for a seat at the table. They're dying to be respected. Gen Zers have grown up. They've gone to college. Some of our Gen Zers are smarter than we are. And one of the most frustrating things that could happen to a Gen Zer is that you keep treating them like a child. And I got to tell you, I started praying for Kenya because, I work with young people. I mentor young people. I understand a little bit about their minds. And one of the things I prayed for is I said, here's my prayer. I said, Lord, I pray the adults would apologize to our Gen Zers. And I just want to suggest to you, when we're talking about relationships and we're talking about really rebuilding relationships, wouldn't it be beautiful if leaders would stand up and say to our Gen Zs, we had you arrested. And we know that had to be traumatizing. And we're sorry. We shut down the internet. And we know that that's your primary source of communication. And we're sorry. Now we want to bring you to the table so that you can have a voice, because you're no longer a child. You're an adult. And we want to begin to say, how do we begin to treat you like an adult? And that's what our Gen Zers are crying for. They're crying for the right to be adults, because they are. They've gone to college. They're buying their own house. They're getting married. They're adults. And I want to encourage you even here today, Kenya. I challenge you that when we start talking about rebuilding relationships, then the question is, how do we begin to rebuild the relationships with our Gen Zers? Because they love you, they care for you, they respect you, but they don't feel respected.
Our neighbors from Tanzania, if we have wronged you in any way, forgive us. Our friends from Uganda, if there is anything that Kenyans have done that's not right, we want to apologize if there is anything. To our children, if there is any misstep, we apologize. To our neighbors, if there is any misstep that we have done, you know, we want to build the relationship that will make our country great and will take us forward.
We request that let them be.
Kusameheana, hata Biblia inatuambia tusameheane, lakini kusahau hatuwezi sahau. Tuko na ile into scars kwa lugha kwa Kiingereza. Hizo scars haziwezi zikatoka. Tutazikumbuka milele.
Apart from kuomba msamaha, tungependa kuona ni nini inafanyika, tuweze kusikizwa kwa zaidi, tuweze kuhusishwa kwa mambo mengi kama vijana.
Tunamsamea rais, but tunamhakikishia ya kwamba hatujayasahau yaliyofanyika mwaka uliopita.
Tumekubali msamaha, lakini zile vitu ambao tumesema na tukaongea tukaelewana, wacha pia atilie maanani na tuone kwamba zimekuja zikafanyika, isiwe tu wanasema tu and then muda ikishapita zile vitu ambao tumeongelea atuoni wakizifanya.
As we move on with this discussion, allow me very humbly to request you to subscribe to our channel. Please don't watch the channel and go without subscribing. When you subscribe, please don't forget to click the notification bell that allows YouTube to notify you whenever we release a video. That is if you love our shows. Another request, don't go without liking this video. Please give it thumbs up. It helps in growing the channel and promoting the video. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to take a moment because Gen Zs are saying that we will forgive you, yes, but we will not forget. I want to give you my own opinion why I don't trust the apology from the political class. I don't. Do you yourself trust the apology from the political class? I will tell you why that was pretense and even hypocrisy, if you can give it that term. Number one, ladies and gentlemen, this is not the first time that William Ruto has come to talk to us this way. After Gen Z's protest, William Ruto dissolved his cabinet because Gen Z's were saying that we don't need this cabinet. It is a very large cabinet full of corrupt men and women of this country. Some of them are showcasing their opulence expensive watches and executive suits. And William Ruto was forced to succumb to the Gen Z's pressure. Now, if he was genuine, he would have given us a fresh cabinet. But he recycled and gave us back, even promoted to even more prestigious positions, the members of the cabinet that Gen Zs had complained about. William Ruto had said that he had austerity measures to ensure that he was going to cut down on expenses. For a moment, he even stopped both unnecessary local and foreign safaris. But now he's back. The cabinet is full. He's recycling. He has begun campaigns. He's on top of vehicles, lying, promising, and doing everything. So this is not the first time William Ruto is telling us something to the effect of an apology, because by succumbing to the pressure, he was like apologizing to Kenyans. So I don't see the difference, because he's got this penchant of, he knows what to say, when to say it, who to tell it to, and he gets away with it. So if you remember the events after William Ruto called for that press conference, and even members of parliament were saying, oh, tumewakosea Gen Z, it is time. Do you remember people like Kalwale? People like the majority leader, Aaron Cheriot, in the Senate? They were scared. But their apology then was not from the heart, but because they were scared. So I don't trust it. Number two, there was a report that came recently from the BBC exposing how Gen Zs were killed. If this government had some little humanity, that is the point they would have faced the reality and said, it has happened, but we really apologize. Instead of apologizing or offering any apology, you remember when the president of Finland came to visit Kenya, and William Ruto was confronted with the question of abductions, and he was saying, lying in broad daylight, instead of offering an apology, he said all the people who were abducted were released and they have joined their families. If there was a moment that he would have offered any apology, was that moment after the BBC expose. He didn't do that, and so that's why I don't trust it. But then something is coming that is going to be a litmus test to William Ruto. The Finance Bill 2025 is here with us. Remember what triggered Gen Z's protest that led to all this that we are now talking about, that led even the pastor to choose that topic, was the Finance Bill 2024. And our MPs who listen to the executive, the MPs whom we were told were bribed to pass that bill, they are the same MPs that we have. And when you listen to them, the tone and the mood and the level of hypocrisy and psychophancy that is going on in that parliament, you can bet that they are still going to pass the Finance Bill 2025 without listening to the people, without listening to the voices of the people. And that is going to be the catch, leave alone the apology. Are they going to listen to the youth? Are they going to listen to Kenyans? Are they going to listen to Gen Zs? That is the catch. That is why Gen Zs are saying, yes, we can forgive you, but we cannot forget. We can forgive you, but listen to us more. I believe that listening goes with implementing, obeying or the voices of the people. That is democracy. That is the nature of real democracy. A government of the people, for the people, by the people. Not a government of the executive, for the executive, by the executive. The executive arm of the government has pocketed the judiciary, has pocketed parliament, has pocketed all the perceived independent institutions. So there is that cut that is coming. The last one, there is a new norm a normal trend, modus operandi, where anyone who has got dissenting views is being pursued. The EACC is cherry-picking those who are supporting Rigathi Gachagua. All of a sudden, they are the ones who are corrupt. All of a sudden, they are the ones who are using fake certificates. And if this is the trend to go by, then all that apology is a mere pretense that cannot be taken seriously. All that apology is mere pretense. I don't know what you think, ladies and gentlemen, but the Member of Parliament, Honorable Oundo, and that clergy, that pastor, we salute them. They are our heroes this week.